Obviously, later match that's going to be played today is going to be playing a part in this one. But
look at
the one and done angle. You got to clear this. You got to clear this. But look at the patience that's being played, and there's kills. Okay, they flood through. There's going to be that response. Melser doesn't get away with too much more. Jake also pushing it out, and this is confidence boundless from Cloud9 off the rip. Maybe a little bit too much so. One singular leaf. One step too far because Daveeys has been opened up and offered an opportunity. Spikes drop down though. Tick, tick, tick with the alarm bot. We'll see. Jiggle with the movements. 2 bullets, not enough to get it done.
Very back and forth. Also, KRÜ really struggled to really throw Sentinels off the scent. Whenever they went into an area, it was getting red. And I fear that the same is going to happen here, especially against Leaf. He's so active on the map, gets a ton of information. And he just always seems to be in the right place. He's already kind of read the B pressure, moving over towards C. Anywhere KRÜ go, Leaf is going to be there, watching, waiting.
Yeah, it's one of the big benefits you get when you play the Neon on this map.
She runs very fast.
Yep, exactly. She can sprint. None of the agents can.
Yeah.
Over the Neon. So she can rotate very effectively, even though the map is quite large. Very aggressive angle by Jake to be holding that one, but he gets his head ripped off in return. It's Keznit. Maybe a bit of an opening, but again, it's quite a lot to traverse. Even if you get that opening kill towards there, you can't really scale very quickly off of that.
40 seconds, and yes, you're right. They're going to have to play slowly, but they've given Keznit a Vandal. And that is a massive tool for him to be able to use.
Yeah.
Even if this just becomes damaging, you take some of the sting out of it for next round from Cloud9.
It's worth noting as well, Keznit. He gets going early with the confidence. It's a dangerous player to really hand the rifle over to. Grouped up now, the high tide flashed through, doesn't actually connect, but Daveeys is there. Sheriff in his hands. A watchful eye of his teammates, guarding his back, stun. Dropped to the feet, dodged for now, but still they're going to be swarming the position. Zellsis helping them out. Keznit's still alive. Dash is active though. Be fading any minute now. Bit of a spray down, drop to 30 health. This is dangerous, and this is looking more than dangerous. I mean, I like to play Jet like that as well. It's the most fun way to play.
I think he thinks so.
2 players grouped up here. You can see Jake and Xeppaa. Now, worth noting, despite the fact that Cloud9 did lose that and they're knocked down to the Thrifty, said it before many, many times, but they are one of the best teams at converting when they're on the weaker guns. Stun comes through.
Usually
be aware of this,
though, isn't it?
Yeah, usually with the stingers, but maybe they can get a bit more done potentially. There is that one kill, but eventually as the Viper Orb does go down, Jake's position revealed. And so control of A main again, slowed down to a bit of a crawl, but as the Viper Wall goes down, that's going to be on cooldown, and it gives that opportunity now for KRÜ to start to move up.
The door opened, and Zellsis in a bit of trouble.
Yeah,
calls for the Viper Wall to come up and makes a play.
Right click.
Just right clicks Nags, and now he's got a Bulldog.
He's got an upgrade.
And these are the kind of plays that allow Cloud9 to win these with some level of regularity. That is going to force the lockdown out of Daveeys too. 3 Vandals against a Spectre, a Sheriff, and a Bulldog.
Daveeys getting this one as well. Round 3 is absurd. I didn't even realize. But it does buy them that bit of extra time, and Leaf, well, he tries to get out of there. Tried to be covered as well. That was Zellsis holding the angle so that Leaf couldn't be punished. But a cleanup left up to runi. He's a demon with the Sheriff, but this might be a little bit too much for him to take on. Indeed it is. So KRÜ taking a lead early on in this map. Just have that last bit of shred of pride. Gave it your all in the split. He came out with at least a result, 1 win still. Off angle by NagZ, that's cleared.
The read on the game is just superb from Leaf.
Yeah.
It looks like he's just walking into NagZ there, but
I've got your
the pre-aim is perfect. Here come the Seekers.
Trying to pop through. There's a flash that does connect there, and again you can see Cascade ripping forwards, buying a bit of that space as well, pushing back anyone who might be looking to defend this one.
Everyone on C9's here, though, ready to flood.
Yeah, they've already rotated. The plan's going to start to go down. This is a big opportunity because it means they can take fights when they should be favored. Daveeys with 3, ripping them through, spraying it down. Xeppaa, he tries to return the fire, and he does indeed, leaving it to the one-on-one. Jake versus Klaus. The top of the spike. Klaus left, guessing where is his opponent.
Another tap.
And Jake just cold, isn't it? Ice cold. Playing it out now, playing the time. Plant stuck though, gets it into that post plant. Position, situation, comes down to it, doesn't it? First shot landing for Klaus.
Daveeys.
They're on fire. And Daveeys, God, 2 away from the lockdown. Still, got to be cautious. And Cloud9, look at this read from them. I mean, it's just been contact plays, but Cloud9 opting into a stack onto the A side.
Here.
Stingers, Sheriffs, Zellsis with the lockdown. Lots of potential for this to go wrong for KRÜ if they choose to commit. And it looks like they are just doing that. Wasn't really a poke and prod for the information. And keznit will fall. First one in. First one to fall. The pivot, breaking the door now. Gotta be careful of this one. They don't know the B's cleared. It's gonna be that U-tilt. Hard at least to spot that contact. Trailblazer clearing through most of this one, but they should be able to get this plant down.
But look how quickly Zellsis and Jake rotated all the way through spawn. And they put down the lockdown instantly.
Yeah.
Just stopping them.
And which direction do you go now? On a swivel, 34 seconds left. All the time just being broken down here, and they know that they're being corralled into the seaside. It's just Cloud9 hot on the trail, hunting them out, sniffing them out, flash through. Find a bit of space into the back of the site. There's a return on the fire. Daveeys still lands it. And there's a lockdown. Another one in play. Why not? Xeppaa still moving forward to the help of his team. Damage being done. Daveeys spraying it through. It's up to NagZ. And the lockdown's not broken. The lockdown's not broken. It's just about time. Few seconds left. 6 on the board. Spike not retrievable. He needs to kill to win it. NagZ knows it. He's hunting. He's running. But runi makes the percentage play.
Cloud9 have only won rounds off the pistol and the thrifty. So gun rounds yet to be finding any value for this Cloud9 squad. Triple push up here over towards Mound as they take some control of this part of the map early on. They're fine to allow KRÜ into A because that's where Zellsis is holding.
With their setup.
Having said that though, Bren, the KRÜ players are close to a lot of big ultimates. Is this punishable?
I mean, a stun connects, but
nearly.
Can't quite get onto the angle. It's just too much distance.
So 1 away from major ultimates, and that was Melser. So he was 1 away from his reckoning. They went and farmed the A orb. They've got that online, and that could be very helpful for them. Either to get into the A site and ensure they get a plant down, or to play the post plant. However, we saw this a lot in the KRÜ game against Sentinels. They make a ton of noise on one area of the map, and then they don't go anywhere. And KRÜ are just kind of slow and indecisive at this point.
Yeah, and it's Cloud9 who are the complete opposite. Look at this, a decision to push through into mid. Daveeys watches though, and collects. And a swarm to try and prevent the punish, but it's a wide swing. Jake does return that fire, pushing forwards. keznit landing it, the reckoning to try and clear through onto that B side a little bit prior, but 30 seconds left. Spike needs to be planted.
And this was a decent bait out of KRÜ, although Jake's picked up the lurker. And Zellsis through the smoke.
Not quite favored there as well when you're jumping up onto Heaven. Cove blocking that site for now. It's a 2 versus 3. And this flank timing coming all the way around. keznit, he sniffed a portion of it out and he lands the shot. Great movement. Dash. Now online. Chooses to enable it now, but he's low. Has to go for the heal here. Still, both players are going to be noted at least. There's a spray down. 1 for the 1. keznit. 4 in the round, and he wins it out for KRÜ. And it is those Frenzy, Sheriffs, Classics, whatever. The pistols being used by Cloud9. KRÜ, as long as they slow this down and play with a bit of discipline, should be able to contain. Big ults online as well that they can start to work towards. Probably not going to be necessary to use them in this round though. 50 seconds left. Now, the point you brought up earlier as well, Josh, about how slow KRÜ tend to play a lot of these beginnings of the rounds without taking too much control. I end up biting them. We'll find out though. Seekers will be used. Push them back through the side. How is Zellsis getting that with a classic? And they're just being locked out right now. I mean, just really bogged down, trying to wade their way in. Cloud9 have already been given all the information to stack in. There's the Cove. Safe plant available for them. No util pushing round. That's vulnerable that Melser. He'll fall. Viper's Pit now has to be committed, and this could be disastrous for KRÜ right now. Committing all these ultimates against the eco, it is really quite dangerous. Where's the post-plant positioning? Daveeys has got to do the most from this angle because he is one of that final line of defense, but wow! Ranger's control of the rifle. runi with 2.
He got a collat with the shot.
And now an opening. A window. An opportunity. Turret spotting that contact. Runi trying to bait it low enough. And Runi wins it. That's just miraculous. How are you pulling that through?
I feel for Daveeys. I really do. That's the second thrifty clutch that we've seen from Cloud9. They've won the pistol round and 2 thrifties at this point. It's just getting silly.
Yeah.
It's just silly. And the fact that Runi gets it with somehow a collat, I believe inside the Viper's pit, with a Sheriff, he just lines 2 heads up. No idea how.
Bizarre.
That's the kind of miraculous nonsense that we sometimes see from them.
I mean, for KRÜ, that is just ridiculous.
What is that?
Yeah, it's like light work. Intended.
Yeah, I meant to do that, boys. Don't look at the replay.
Don't worry about it. Don't worry about it at all. But that is a heartbreaker for KRÜ because heavy investment with the ultimates. It was their buy round against another thrifty, and they dropped the ball.
And now they themselves push down to a thrifty here, KRÜ. The positive side of it, the silver lining, is that Daveeys has his 3rd lockdown by round 8.
Yeah, that's... I mean, you just don't see that.
No.
If he ends up using it, I mean, by this point, round 8, we're going to be seeing, what, 4 lockdowns being used?
Yeah, it's ridiculous.
At this point in the game?
They're not even farming the orbs onto him as far as I've seen.
He's just been collecting the kills.
Yeah, maybe I've missed that. Maybe he's been going for the B1 frequently or something, but he's just been fragging.
Keznit, usually going to be the spearhead for the team. This time, a lot of independence being showcased. He's not being set up on this angle. He's just lurking his way through.
And it is interesting, when KRÜ cut noise like this, Leaf tends to rotate C.
Off angle for Jake. Doesn't win the fight. Damage done. There's a heal. It's there to immediately replenish. It's a rifle that's not retrievable up into heaven. Still needs to watch this one. High tide, safe plant. Ah, there's a lockdown, okay. In play, angle watched, Zellsis. Head ripped off. Are we going to see just back-to-back thrifties? It's looking almost inevitable at this point. That prowess on display. Flash at the tail end of it as well, just delays just that bit extra time. KRÜ with all the control as well of every single extremity. Keznit wants to go for a little bit more. Why not? Assistance from his team brings them all down. It is the back-to-back thrifties, Josh. This is just bonkers. This is just bonkers.
And now you've got Cloud9 on a thrifty as well. And we've seen what they've done in the past. I don't think we're going to see these teams win a gun round for the rest of the half. It's ludicrous. It's a ridiculous game on Lotus so far, but it favors KRÜ. The back and forth, and the fact that it's, you know, it's a bit scrappy and chaotic is definitely leaning heavily towards the underdog team here. Daveeys, 16 kills in 8 rounds.
Close. Oh, it's a double space. Well, almost lined themselves up, but it is very good. Regimented with the peak, taking out 2 of the players, and it's typically where you see teams fall short, not being able to trade out effectively when Cloud9 maybe get that opening pick, but no, this is really quite nicely contained.
It definitely is.
No dodging time there from NagZ, but yeah, team's got his back, don't they? Look at that firing line. Waiting in spawn, denying the chance of picking up the rifle, but they do have to give up that space at some point, so Zellsis should be able to pick up an upgrade. Keznit's still watching.
KRÜ are definitely ready for this kind of stuff, though. Obviously, NagZ gets caught out by the pop flash play, but the fact that all 3 of those B players drop back, waiting for Cloud9 to push, rather than taking those 2 kills and immediately going to plant on B, shows that KRÜ are really trying to slow the pace down and find these avenues to the openings.
He's desperate for this rifle. That is the widest swing in the world. I mean, it's just gone on a marathon. He's like, please, just let me pick up this gun. But no, it's watched. KRÜ, very good awareness.
And they're up to 6. That. This is already a really good half. Normally, Cloud9's ability to play with the neon and rotate and be preemptive against every team they've faced on Lotus has worked. It's always worked. And here, that slightly slower style from KRÜ is almost baiting out the rotates, but frankly, I mean, look at MC's face. Listen, if this was earlier on in the season, you would not be seeing that reaction.
No.
So I think that tells you a little bit about the attitudes coming into the game. Again, remember, for all the stuff that we hyped up, like Cloud9 can potentially take the #1 seed, They would also need Leviathan to beat Loud.
Yeah.
And that has not looked likely recently.
Double face, double fight, taken towards it. Xeppaa swings to at least return it. So it's a 4 versus 4.
Toxins going up.
Early skirmish. And either way. Through this time looking for a bit of exploration towards C as well. Only runi left to watch this one. And it's again, KRÜ just contacts him. This time though, Reckoning doesn't clear this corner. Smoke in the face. There it is, landing a shot, snakebite as well. That rebounded, he kicked it. It didn't even vulnerable anymore. Still, eventually applies it, but Melser, he returns.
Look at NagZ. Look at where he is in spawn currently.
Oh, I mean, are you going to anticipate this ever? Well, lockdown.
But also, Melser can't get the spike down at this point because he's got nobody to help him and a lockdown in his face. Thankfully, because NagZ is feeding him all of this information about the positioning of the defenders, he can just full rotate to A, and now NagZ left to contain. The Cloud9 anticipate it at all?
Cleared. No one's watching it. Jake's looking behind, expecting it. Great look through mid. Great look.
I mean, it's been a very, very different game from Cloud9 here on Lotus.
A rare drop in performance for him so far.
And yeah, it doesn't really matter for their season if he does poorly here, but you don't want him slowing down going into playoffs when he looks like the best player in Americas.
And again, it looks like KRÜ have a great read on how Cloud9 want to be playing when they've got the Stingers in their hands. They're so proactive with how they want to fight over a significant area of the map as well, and they are just chasing them down. They absorb the aggression, they take a better fight, and they hunt them down when the retreat is active.
They're navigating the aggression from Cloud9 very, very well. And they're also baiting the rotates out quite nicely too. This is definitely going to be one where, you know, if KRÜ are able to get the victory here on Lotus and close things out with the way that they're playing, it looks like they could. People are going to be scratching their heads a little bit.
Yeah.
Because Cloud9 look like the best team in Americas on this map. And maybe they will be when it comes to playoffs too. Hard to tell with games like this.
Double face, nice movement from Xeppaa, but
as far as duels
not anticipating Melser swinging from that particular direction.
He and Daveeys are farming.
Daveeys gone off. Watching for the C push here, but there's going to be this brawl occurring towards Ruins in the smokes. This way. That way! No way!
He got two! Ridiculous!
Lined them up. Pure luck. Flip of a coin. And it's a huge advantage.
He goes in there and dominates the smoke very early on. And look, KRÜ don't use those 2 picks to try and explode into a different area of the map. They know that there was another player around here, and they're going to make sure to clear out Jake first.
Jake has got so much to do in this position, but you know, when his first fight gets taken, there's going to be 2 more players behind it, just like that. Trailblazer, the double face, the double swing, keznit. I mean, kill after kill. Snakebite though, drop down. That's going to be all of that, the Viper's Pit, just to try and push them away here. runi commits that one, but look at his positioning. I mean, he's given up already because he knows that they're trying to take the B side. This pit will be falling, and 40 seconds still left in this high tide. Blocking. All that vision, Cove. Still holding the smokes though. Ensuring that nobody pushes through it. Get themselves into that post plant.
1 enemy remaining.
At this point, KRÜ slam dunk set up for that 9-3. Zellsis would have to pull off a miracle, not happening in the slightest. And so this is a difficult task indeed. Leaf. First contact, first fight taken. But it's a battle, a brawl. But backing away here, KRÜ get chunked down there. A lot of that decay damage. Healed up, I believe, as well there by Klaus. Already making moves. It's a quick, agile adjustment. Trailblazer now going to be clearing into the C site. They spot, I believe, 3 players, really high value off of that one, and they know that it's going to be cleared out most likely. So, site can be taken by Cloud9 now.
I love this call from Cloud9. They saw 4 players pushing out B, and then they see 3 in Waterfall. Means they can take C for free. They also hear no killjoy utility, whereas usually those 4-1 pistol rounds are going to be leaving you KJ. That's a headshot onto runi, though.
Yeah. Chunked down into the post plant.
They're going for Waterfall aggression,
really proactive.
actually.
They want to fight this. Cove, though, to try and get the entry into the site. That's KRÜ just layering that one down. How do they want to push through this one? High Tide, interesting. Splits up the site into 2 areas. Jake, he's going to hold this one down. He's going to know he's being pushed and pressured. 2 remain still. Zellsis, last one left, last one standing. Finalizes it. So,
split. And obviously, KRÜ still massively favored, but so far, they have been the better team today. And as Cloud9 takes a mount control, there are 3 players here waiting to collect.
Into the back of the site. Heavy amount of bullets there with a right click. Leaf drop down. Daveeys is there. Shorty up close through the choke point. Flash. It's a good connection. Yet Xeppaa. Oh my goodness. Makes a stinger look like a rifle. Never seen somebody get so many multi-kills with that one. Keznit going to do his best now to see if he can do any more damage to the economy, but they'll fall. 3 players surviving here for Cloud9. Get the plan. Yeah, investing into this one. So it won't be a traditional bonus, not keeping that economy in check. Fighting it. Skirmish towards Ruins. An exchange of the bullets here as the Viper wall is going to be giving a bit of a pause and a break. However, door opens. Was that Keznit opening that?
Keznit just ran forward, opened the door, and backed up like, come on, push me.
Okay, he's feeling confident. Smoke to split it up, though. Dogs going to be meeting each other's gaze and walking right past each other. Now the Seekers, this is a play. See if they can try and fake that they are trying to hit into that A site. The rest of the team grouped up now, moving forwards through onto the B site. That's Cloud9 taking that space. Evan control is going to be theirs. The plan's going to go down without anything to really push this one back. KRÜ are giving them a ton of respect.
Yeah, perhaps a little too much. Cloud9 are going to be very proactive. And instead of fighting through spawn, they've decided to take this contest at the breakable door. 3 players around here, and Klaus's flash or his Trailblazer would be imperative in this spot, and he doesn't have either.
Yeah, they just used the flash to clear through into Ruins, grouped up and sprayed down. Xeppaa as well, holding down. Can hear the movement, can hear the evacuation attempt by NagZ as he looks to hold on to the gun, but he will not get it.
There, gotta go.
No one keeping that one. Leaf has really just been the sacrificial lamb this entire damn map. He'll fall. Daveeys is being set up. Absolute world-class game in terms of the stats, padding it, but round win for Cloud9.
It wasn't just Cloud9. Both teams were going back and forth on it. Mostly off the back of big sheriff shots from Daveeys and Keznit. Neither of which have a sheriff in their hands at the moment, actually. But they're going for that mound push. Saw this from Cloud9 a couple of times.
Yeah, there's nothing to really meet it other than the turret. No bodies to catch this push. Turret at Cloud9 now grouped up towards Ruin. So they raid the turret, anticipating there could be somebody behind it. They might swing off of it, but no, giving up that space. Opting fully now into the site. Leaf's already taken the back of it. But he might be meeting as well the presence met. Sheriff singing there for Melser. Good kill to collect. Spike has to be planted, but a player disadvantage. Evened out now. Really being pushed onto the flank. Runi will do his best here. Got the backup with the rest of his team as well. Watching a lot of those angles. Daveeys. This is a man unleashed. I mean, a performance from him we haven't seen in quite some time. Melser landing in as well. Now the player disadvantage swings to the other side of things. Cloud9, a proactive play indeed as they're trying to push up through into heaven. Shots,
he saw them both.
Another of them, and yet information granted. A tap onto the spike. Keznit could have potentially got half of it. Chooses to take the fight anyway. Leaves it to Daveeys. Wallbang, spam, through, headshot. No stun connecting. 50 health though, and a single bullet that might just be enough. Half onto the fuse. Doesn't know where he is. Lands it anyway. Monstrous by Daveeys.
This kind of help your confidence heading into LCQ, and any thoughts about retooling in the offseason. Gonna put your name at the forefront.
Shining light, looking forward into the future, but
the double re-swing there from Cloud9 as they re-clear out this B area. There's 4 people here.
Focusing on the here and now. Making sure that they clear out that space. Lockdown is close. It's gonna be swarming over towards the B site. Not too much to be used to try and clear this one. That's Keznit making the most of it. Dash was active as well, so he was able to just play that lockdown. That little bit extra. The time paying off with that first kill. Spike, though, still going to get planted, so post-plant now for Cloud9. And it's a fight on multiple fronts here. You can see that there's that flank attempt. Runi as the door's rotating around, just trying to take the fight towards the main area. Another lockdown in play, Klaus! Oh my goodness! All that proactivity by Cloud9, they'd love to just refight for some of that space. And it just bit them in the back. You can see fighting close, forwards, trying to fight it all together as a collective group while the spike was stuck. No. Forced the utility out of Cloud9, so they can't just take that A main for free, but drop the smoke here. That's a very, very narrow angle. Keznit doesn't land the shot. All that space taken. Paranoia pushing him all the way through. Klaus might have to be the difference maker. And he does indeed find his kill. It's Leaf unleashing it now. Ultimate in his hands. But Daveeys is still there responding.
It's crazy.
The spike is in the hands of runi. They have control of some portion of the site, but they are surrounded.
Running low.
Now that ult's going to be fading. I love this discipline by KRÜ, just wetting it out, knowing that it's going to be fading any minute now, and just as I say that, it does. Stinger in his hands. Leaf feels like he needs to take risks. Davey watching.
So sharp. So sharp. And they put away Cloud9 on another Thrifty and make their way up to match point. For all of those close maps that they've had,
you can feel it in the player cams as well. Forward. A position taken by Leaf. He's able to capitalize.
It feels like one of the few times he's gotten a first kill.
It's a rare moment. Flash. Nine a bit of that space as well, so nobody can push through the rotating door. It's a game of timings, really. Op angle. Held so nobody can swing. Alarm bot spots it. Very far back positions being played by the Cloud9 players here. Xeppaa looking to try and help out. Right behind the cascade. Smokes drop down. It is a gamble. It comes down to a bit of spam. Jumping forwards. Cleaned up, cleared out. Keznit, last one left. Has to save with the operator.
And so that's the first chance for KRÜ to be able to secure a map that's fallen through their fingers, but many, many more still to go.
Yeah, lots of chances.
You know, that's two of the top three in Americas. This is against the team right at the bottom.
Go, go, go.
Couldn't be more different.
Circumstances and expectations. Leaf. This is a really heavy gambit. He's taking this fight. I mean, he's pushing through. He's not supported with the flash, but his team, they do capitalize. They do back him up. Bit of redemption there, and gaining control now of that connector. These B hits have been working for them. It's a double face. 3, 2, 1. Here's the call. Daveeys. He must reset his aim to get it, but Xeppaa is clean for it. NagZ. Left alone now. 1 versus 2. Close corner. You do not anticipate this as the orb falls. It's a clear line of sight angle. Zellsis.
I've got your trail.
Grand chance to take a map against Cloud9. Not many teams have done that.
Wow. Xeppaa's used his Seekers here and opened the door to make it feel like it could be coming towards B. Then a lockdown invested, Leaf towards the back.
In the back of the side again, there's no util to support him there. He is just alone.
Not even his own stun.
Peeking it dry and he will fall. Lockdown though, that has to clear the way. Gotta respect this one. Backed away for KRÜ, 1 player detained. I believe that's Daveeys. Skipping and hopping away out of there. It's going to be a Trailblazer instantly, but with the Viper's pit dropped down, its retake gets that much more difficult. Control being asserted. Cloud9 not wasting any time. Jake really pushing forward to ensure that nobody can push this one. That is really ballsy, and it does not work out, does not pay out. Xeppaa though, still containing. It's being that next layer to it. 2 kills found. It's a 2-on-2 though.
Oh, the Nano Swarm.
Yep, and the pit's still up. The Nano Swarms are active. I feel like this is just winnable, even with the kills that they gave away. runi falls, and so does the pit, but yeah, time ticking. Spike dropping, Zellsis.
Oh, well, not for this round.
You've cursed it.
Not for this round.
Absolutely cursed it. Injection of pace. Spike dropped down, someone else can plan it. Not my job, says runi.
Big flank happening here.
Gained all the ground, and this flank is going to be really important. Moving forwards, there's an alarm bot to meet it. It's up to Zellsis. It's activated, so he now knows that they're going to be pushing this one, but he is alone. He needs help from his team. There's a snake bite. Util used. Flick of the wrist. The reaction dropped to 1 HP. Single shot. Healing in this moment, at this time. Okay. And okay, Keznit reaches back into it. Got the knives online. Dropping it. Rifle picked up.
The other rifle's down in tree, though.
And this is upgrades abound. Door now rotating, starts to really turn up the heat. Jake was opening himself up to the angle, the dash. He missed it. He whiffed it into the wall. Cove in their face, spraying down. Not enough to do for Melser. Stacked up with the players. Trailblazer spots it out. What's going to occur? Flash deep round the side. Leaf. He falls again. So many first steps. The wider swing, the wider fight taken. Cloud9 looking to salvage it. Xeppaa, oh my goodness. Earning the paycheck with that one.
They win the brawl. Shaky, difficult, but the trading ended up being there despite Keznit taking Leaf out at the beginning. Now Daveeys with 28 kills, the player who has been so fantastic for KRÜ on this map, has an opportunity to win a 1v2 and close things out. But my God, is it going to be hard.
Oh, he's got so much to do. He's miles away. It's going to take a good 10 seconds off the clock that he otherwise would have had to play. And Cloud9, they'd love to do this. There's a flash up towards heaven. They clear it out towards stairs. And you know they're going to have that discipline. It's going to take magic.
Alarm bot.
Alarm bot behind just in case he gets pushed. Time running out. He doesn't know where they are. And yeah, crossing the angle. Wide. Has to do it. Timer's running low. It's collected. And it's now come down to this, Josh. One round.
Chance.
Like us, but
One last chance. I can't believe KRÜ went for... I can't believe Cloud9 went for this. When the Trailblazer died immediately, I thought they were just going to bail. I thought they were like, all right, well, KRÜ are stacked up here. We won't challenge it. Nope. They choose to fight that one fully. And it's a bit of a mess of a buy. A Guardian and a Bulldog towards the final round, but a lot of ultimates. And they're going for the same thing again.
All over the place. They want to try and fight it again. Surely not. Clashing.
Reckoning!
The reckoning!
Off the rip!
Offloaded. You're not going to have that one for any sort of retake. And of course, the call gets made by Cloud9. They're like, guys, let's get out of here. We're getting ult for that. Small piece of util used, but it's the threat of it. Cloud9, no strangers to having the confidence to take those fights to them. They thought that they were really going to be barreling through.
Poison's off.
But it's slowed down. Take a bit of a breather here. A lot going to be hinging on this round.
And Xeppaa literally used Seekers in the previous round, got a 3K, and now he's going to have them online again.
Yeah, farming up the orbs.
It's crazy how good this ult is on a 3-site map like Lotus.
Pushing forwards, lines them up, clearing its way through. Seeker's going to be used in response to this as well by Klaus. One of them going towards C, so they got to know that it's in that direction. As Cloud9 look to try and pivot. Oh, this could be it. I mean, a snake bite at their feet. They actually can't get into this one. Wall fast lane, that's right through it. Spam. An angle found as Leaf, again, first one to fall. And the rest of the team, it's KRÜ grouped up. Surely this is it. The slam dunk finish. All the kills got away. No way! No way!
One enemy remaining.
They lined them up. They didn't know where they were. It's that classic play from Cloud9, a strength of them that rears its head. Playing off of each other, the trading is immaculate. Lockdown earn, round the side, it's up to Daveeys. He's been immaculate. But immaculate doesn't win it against... Steal that record. Looking set up for it. This is Cloud9. Pushed up deep towards A main here. KRÜ now also exploring. A couple of bullets sent flying towards B, but not actually breaking any of the Killjoy utility. They've taken a pivot towards C now as well with the rotating door. NagZ has been pressured.
He saw everything.
Yeah. Saw 3 of the players. Is there a call to be made? No, I mean, KRÜ not willing to really push through that and take that space.
No, and that's a strange one too, because they just used High Tide and Cascade, which would have given them an entry capability into C, and they decided to back off and re-clear. It was working well for them in regulation, this strategy of playing slowly and re-clearing the map. So now Jake's going to be under pressure.
Stun, paranoia. I know where Jake is, has to drop off this.
Only
Still holds it.
And there's only 40 seconds left here, and this is where things start to become a bit dangerous. During regulation, they were getting these picks. They were re-clearing the area and, you know, killing Jake or killing Leaf here and being up a player. It's not the case now. 30
seconds left.
Options are limited. When the time gets down to this point as well, I mean, you're trying to work your way through A. You have so many layers of the util to now try and get through.
It's going
the
to
call
be.
is made is going to be, but they didn't break any of that Killjoy setup before. It's still there, it's still active, it's still onto the side. NagZ, movement to the side.
10 seconds.
Takes out Xeppaa, 10 seconds. Nanoswarms breaks it. Plan has to be done, close to the corner. We'll get this one down. It's up to KRÜ to cover his back. Make sure they get into it, and they do indeed. Kills now flowing. Kill feed filling up with red. runi, tap dead, following the traces. Finds it. Stun being dodged as well on top of it. Zellsis around the side. Melser still there. Watchful eye. Flash connects. Counter flash swinging. Why you got your knife out, Klaus? What's going on there? It's fallen to pieces. Leaf, of course, he claims his 2. He wants a 3rd. Tap, tap, into the pit. It's Jake who finds it. Huge player advantage. And at this point, Cloud9, you can slow it down. Don't have to fight off of that. You can wait for this Viper Wall to go down, as it does. NagZ is given a timing. An off angle now.
Player standing.
Had to be massive. But again, left up to Daveeys.
And I feel for him. He had a 1v2. He had a 1v3. And now he's got a 1v4. And he's always just the last player alive. KRÜ have gone into desperation territory with their defense, where they're just trying to push and leave Daveeys anchoring one of the sites on his own. And it just leaves him in these unwinnable spots. He was on such a heater at the beginning of this map. And they've done nothing to empower him.
Yeah, I mean, it's such
and
a
help
gamble.
his whole hand.
It's such a gamble.
Straight to the body of Zellsis there.
Yeah, I mean, he's just trying to bait a couple of shots here. But look at Cloud9. I mean, they're not going to give anything away here. It's a high-low setup. One player takes contact. Is it because he dogged to lead in? He had his knife out to get close onto the angle, dogged, and then as soon as he's out of it, he just wide swung.
And thought that his gun would be coming out first.
Yeah.
Yeah, very possible.
I think that's what happened. But yeah, it's when it gets to this situation, the heat's turned up. You can feel the opportunity slipping away to try and close out a map like this. Mistakes start to be created.
Cloud9 are doing the same defensive play again, but this time they catch NagZ. It's a dry walk.
Yep.
And they know that KRÜ have been re-clearing A. KRÜ have been going for it every time. They don't react into runi on C. They have always tended to go back to A and re-clear. All right, this time, changing things up a little bit. And as that door opens, you see Leaf considering, should I be going C? Should I be going B? Gets into Waterfall so that he's ready for both.
Yeah, I mean, are they trying to fake like it's a B hit here? C presence with the spike. They're not making any noise, not using any util. I think they're just trying to walk this one in off of the B presence. But it's being watched for. I mean, Cloud9 are playing defensive positions, 2 at Waterfall, 1 at the back of the site.
30 seconds left.
Runi, high ground off angle, spots it. Players are noted now. He's going to give the call for the rest of Cloud9 to start swarming in with 20 seconds left. They're not going to have a chance to really get this spike down the plant down. It comes down to the gun duels. The fight's to be taken.
C. Last player
Daveeys
standing.
again, last one left. Glide to the side, cuts up the crosshair placement. Farming up the orbs. Are they going to try and re-hit off of this? The orb leaves! He just claims 2! A refight again. It's a little bit delayed, but it's all over in the blink of an eye, just like that. Cloud9 take it.
Very important.
It is really important, and now Cloud9 are opting into this. Double flashes, maybe the idea behind it to set up Leaf a little bit more, really enable him, but
I think the idea behind it might be to throw off prep for other teams in the playoffs. If you have to be worried about 3 different compositions that Cloud9 could pull out, that's a lot of VOD review you have to do.
And so it's a nuanced one. Xeppaa moving forward, spraying it down with a frenzy. Any sort of bullets landing, there's a significant amount of damage done. Dash has to be active. Leaf already helping him out as well. Moves onto the site, flash rebounds, and well, Daveeys ripping off the heads, making himself known on the map, on the site.
Team flash. Count them up. Let's see. Let's see how disciplined Cloud9 look with this. They're breaking the door a little bit here. Taking space up in heaven. They still have a Trailblazer. Yeah, here it comes.
Yeah, using it to clear through. Spots one of them. Dart broken almost immediately off of that when they got to know a player's main, but there's a crossfire set up just towards hell. Patience from runi. Holds his ground, but doesn't expect NagZ there. And tap tap. He avoids all the bullets going his way. Drone in their faces as well. Still with the rifle. They look like they want to face this one. Taking the fight, there it is, together. Occurring.
Guiding light early with the one-way to try and push people back and set Leaf up in wide.
A shock dart. That knife is not going to clear Leaf. Still holds it. Ash goes though. Becomes that much more dangerous to play this position. Still got his team to bail him out though as the one-way is renewed.
Yeah, and they just swing back onto the angle. It's really slow from KRÜ to start things off. The first 30 seconds, not much has happened. They don't control A main even. They're 1-1-3ing, but the 3 players didn't take a portion of map control.
Time to hunt.
And this is late in the round, the minute mark. Trailblazer gets used to clear out Catwalk. Could definitely be someone sneaking up in that spot earlier in the round.
Spots 2 of the players sitting in mid here, and Slow and steady might be the approach from KRÜ, but it is going to be removing again your option.
Look at runi currently and the way that he's holding his fault line. This looks like runi's going to hold it off A main contact or cat contact.
Knife. Is there going to be a fault line? There it is.
There it is.
30
Runs
seconds
all the way
left.
through. A smoke as well. Drop down towards it. Melser. On the side now. Looks like a collapse. Trying to split the way into this one. Flashed up. There's one. Daveeys was playing anti though. Active with the flash. But Leaf has dropped it along with a spike. Here in main, gaining that ground. There's only 13 seconds left in this one. They've got to try and reclaim it. Wow. We really start to, I think, make runi a little bit antsier playing this top mid position. So they start to threaten it, which they are.
Yeah, Recon 0 point come down mid, and they are playing that 1-3-1. Pushing runi out.
Yeah, away from that position. There's a turret to take contact as soon as they cross this one, but there's nothing set up to push them away now. And it gets a bit awkward, doesn't it? Because they could be pushing into spawn, could be taking market. You don't really know if you are Cloud9. Leaves a big gap in towards mid. Leaf, though.
How bold.
Yep, takes that as a timing, apparently, to just swing out a cat.
He swings out cat as the Trailblazer came through and cleared bottom mid. It is still thought out, the timings that he's gone for. And the Seekers get Xeppaa good information and allow runi to play back in this area.
To mid, crossfire. runi takes the first contact. He sees a shoulder. That's enough. No way! No one clears it! Pushed up deep into the corner.
One enemy remaining.
Mistakes are made. And Cloud fight. Paranoia though. Advantage given to KRÜ in terms of the space they can take off of that one. Dashing into the smoke. Swinging out wide as well. Do that 1-for-1. Feeling the heat here. Teleport into the back. See if they can claim anything else here, but the rifles are really doing all the work in the world. Wonder what up, Daveeys. Where was he running to? Corralled in that corner.
And it looks like we're going to see a different defensive setup here from Cloud9. You see the Jet moving over towards B. They flip. Killjoy playing A.
This is 4 players.
Showcasing out there. Yeah.
4 players from Cloud9 grouped up towards B main.
I assume this is going to be
Mid
some
is
level of
open.
mega like flash combo to set Leaf up and fight tiles.
How are they doing this one? Paranoia, fault line, flash, everything being expended, but it's a team flash. Leaf wasn't ready for it, but the rest of his team certainly is. Xeppaa, round the side, round the back, any sort of containment would be good, but no, it's Cloud9 again on top of it. Not ready. KRÜ to absorb any of that aggressive play. It's one of the benefits you get when you run quirky little compositions like this, John. Slapped on one after the other, gives them the advantage. Now we see.
It's a different setup again, actually.
Yeah,
Brian.
it is.
They do the fault line off the rip towards B main, and they actually have both initiators playing B. Very unusual.
KRÜ are just hoping, hunting, that somebody will open themselves up and give them a freebie, a bit of a kill. The Sheriffs and the Knives. Cloud9 looking disciplined.
Xeppaa used his Trailblazer a little earlier on just to see whether it was fake pressure in B main, and it wasn't. Trailblazer got broken early. Unfortunately, that means that they don't have too much great information. Xeppaa could reflash this as well, but they can hear the turret. They know there's at least one person here, and now a few.
Yeah. Dart sent to the back of the side here, and it is just blinding, near-sided. I don't know if they've moved over towards the side. Lane kind of smoked off here. It's a little bit all over the place. Spam into the common angles, but it does get them into the side. It does the job. Rolling Thunder, pushing them back, pushing them through. Everybody stunned up. Everybody trying to survive from KRÜ. Right to the back of it. And they do. They wait it out. They bait it out. And they're still landing these shots.
Down B.
Next with the Sheriff now. One
remaining.
shot left. And down to the 1-on-1. Spike dropped down at the feet. Exchanges the gun, gets a couple more bullets from it. runi was holding that. The time becoming an issue. Spike needs to be picked up.
10
NagZ
seconds
doesn't know
left.
where this is cleared
I
from.
got the spike.
He's running. He knows he has to plan it. runi has played this one well. Aftershock down the side. Enough time to get this plan down.
Spike's down.
Stunned up. Solo has to be this shot to hit. One shot to the brain will do it, but runi, no. It was all set up for him.
It still got dangerous, though. That was an anti-eco for Cloud9. And it came down to a 1v1 with NagZ hitting some very nice shots. Cloud9, though,
Including that fragment nades drop down at the feet. Nobody can really play market here. The goal crew get onto the site, but they have left nobody at any of the extremities. They are all playing to the back of the site here. And that's a dangerous prospect when you consider Zellsis has that lockdown in his back pocket. They're going to use theirs just to buy a bit more time.
Take flight.
But it is dangerous. All to the side of it. What's the play? What gets made? They do have the Hunter's Fury. Cloud is going to have to use that at the back of the site if the lockdown is used. But the time running down like this, Cloud9 maybe feel like they actually can't opt into it.
they've used a lot of utility just to clear out B main and clear out spawn.
There it is, finally being used.
There's not a huge amount of time.
He's going to have to use this lockdown. Or, yeah, okay, Hunter's Fury to try and clear it. Cloud9 know they can play this. It's going to be a player out of the action. Not holding a gun, not holding the fight, yet still it's crew. They defend it.
Is this Cloud9 going to be? I don't know. I don't think there's any way of knowing.
Oh, that's a good tag. Suppressed. Leaf. He's even tagged as well from the drone.
He needs help here
He
from
needs
runi.
major help here.
They're not going for him.
Slash the dash. Gets out of there. runi was looking to try and help him out, bail him out as well, I think, by just taking that angle early and firing a bit of shots. Flash into the smoke. Xeppaa wants to take the fight with the Seekers. Quick pivot. Instantaneous as they realize there's a huge presence of players there from Cloud9 fighting over
wine.
mid. Jake is in wine. Extra
the
layer,
spike.
extra backstab. Sprays it. It's awkward, it's a bit messy, but it gets the job done with the spike drop down, smoke drop down. Teleport as well, just to try and evade his positioning. It's picked up though.
Daveeys got it without having to expose himself too much to Jake.
Audible call gets made. They want to fight over tree as the door's broken. It's a cool play. They got plenty of time to do it. Left it to 2 for Cloud9. Shot! Right to the head. Beautiful. You can only see the top of it. And it has evened it out here. Jake still, they know his position's there into main, but trying to retake this one with the operator. Leaf. Could all go wrong in the blink of an eye. Over the top, drops down, spots it. Now the classic in his hands. Wider swing from Daveeys, really good, really great. Getting that 4th online here. Dangerous. With the
heal is
rifle,
there.
yeah, I mean, Leaf was hoping for something early.
So now the suppression comes off. Xeppaa can heal up Leaf.
Cover going
You get that duelist with the Vandal back up to somewhere near full. 100 health, definitely a little more vulnerable.
So the question in terms of just, you know, how good this Cloud9 comp is going to be looking when they swap sides over towards the attack side. You know, when we talk about traditional comps, we think of Ascent as a very defense-sided map. But so far, so good. Oh. Could get scrappy, could get strained, but no. Crew biding their time at the beginning, really waiting this one out. runi, great reset there with the aim, almost fine in a second, but not really doable. Zellsis now on a bit of a hunt to see if he can salvage maybe a rifle. We'll get into position here to take some away.
But this looks very solid from crew.
Yeah.
Cloud9 clearly have some nice ideas of what they want to do on this map, but they've let really one crucial round slip through their fingers, and suddenly they're looking at 5-5.
Well, there's the rifle. That's what he was looking for.
Zellsis is still in a 1v3 though, with the spike planted.
Is he going to go for this? I mean, you should just be saving it.
Probably.
Yeah.
But at the same time, their loss bonus is going to be fairly large. He could give it a crack.
Time running out though. Enough money for crew really to buy as well. Exits don't do too much for you.
It does help a little bit just to suppress crew's economy.
Okay.
You don't want it getting out of control. But yeah, you're right. We're heading into round 11, round 12. Not going to make too much difference.
Yeah, gets the one.
Especially when Daveeys is set up max money. But yeah, to be honest with you, Cloud9 have only really let one round slip through their fingers, round 9. They had the massive ult disadvantage in round 8. And then with round 9 also falling away,
Enemy remaining.
they
Spike
then
down
lose
mid.
the eco round afterwards. And they're dead even at 5 apiece.
Important for crew as well after
Placing swarm grenade.
losing map 1 in the fashion that they did.
Placing swarm grenade.
Does put a stopper on things. There's always the chance that Cloud9 would run them over. All that momentum. It gathers as well in the second half of Lotus.
There is also a chance that they do the same on the next half. We haven't really seen this double flash comp.
Yeah.
It could be very attack-sided. Here's runi under a ton of pressure. This is what we asked earlier. What happens when he gets pushed super heavily in mid?
Yeah, the turret gets broken there. There's no real trap play off of it.
No. And
Because-
previously, Zellsis was pushed up to market to help runi. Now he's all the way in the back B side.
Take flight.
A big gulf in terms of the info that Cloud9 are going to be able to gather. That's what we were saying was one of the downsides of running this comp. You don't have that constant refresher with the KO knife and the Sova dart.
And in fact, in the first 40 seconds of the round, Xeppaa's used both flashes and Trailblazer.
Right.
Just now getting one of his flashes online. So this is where he really lacks info. The KRÜ have played this round very well.
Yeah.
They've created mid presence, created catwalk presence. They've pulled Cloud9 away from A main even. There's a lot of the map where C9 have no good info.
Uptime bought though, the turret can get back online towards the back of the site here. Zellsis is going to be looking to try and anchor this down. 28 seconds left, just about making their way through here, but a spam might have found something. Would have been a lucky one if Leaf did. Stun, connects. Zellsis needs some help now, needs to get bailed out. Dodging, ducking, weaving, it's a double face though, he can't get a clean fight. Daveeys was that line of defense. Meanwhile, guess what? Keznit was lurking up through Cat. And he found Xeppaa, runi.
Team A.
Risky play, wide swinging. Leaf?
All right, Leaf, you're good too. All right.
Singular Leaf versus KRÜ. Give him a sheriff. What can he do? That wasn't intentional.
Dr. Seuss
Sounded
wannabe.
incredibly corny. Was not intentional.
NagZ getting aggressive too, pushing in front of that, that turret that he's got set up for B main contact. And of course, with KRÜ's comp, you kind of know what they're bringing to the table, but it's also just such a well-rounded composition for a set.
Yeah. It's very standardized for a reason.
And there's also, when everybody plays a comp like this, you don't have to invent stuff yourself. You can see other people doing it, iterate on it, figure out what works. A year and just think, well, that was a disaster. What do we have to do? Rebuild.
Yeah.
You know, you want still something.
This is that last chance in the regular split. Earn a win against one of the top teams.
And they haven't been out of it. They've had their moments.
They've had their moments, but they couldn't quite grasp it in map number 1. We'll see if this ends up changing things up. Winning the bonus would be tremendous to get them on that track. Jump spot on top of the fountain. Smoke going to be denying that info though. It's deep. Does force out the drone from Klaus just to get a bit of that mid-round information. KRÜ doing a good job to deny any sort of space gain, but with that util being used, wow, Leaf crosshair placement was good there. Could have taken out Daveeys, flicks and reacts. It's adequate enough. With Daveeys removed now, no more pace behind that one actually. Cloud9 just not choosing to really go fast. They slow it down with 30 seconds in the round.
They're very slowed down.
30 seconds
And runi
left.
looked like he was pulling away from B main, and now he's going to return because this is going to end there.
Yeah.
B split, 4 through market.
Smoke drop though. Haven't cleared any of that util. It's still going to be an out of swarms. The rest of them have to commit somewhere. Has to be in the stairs, lined up for it. At the back of the site.
Down B.
NagZ with a wide
Last
swing.
player standing.
Keznit behind. It's a full collapse. Grants them a win on their bonus. This is fast. Oh, Melser! What a shot to fire, what a shot to hit. Daveeys though doesn't win that one. No one's ever got to sting it. Spam though into the smoke. And okay, take your pick, why not?
Too easy for Keznit, isn't it?
The common angles, I mean,
These last
luck
couple
of the
of rounds.
draw. Don't get me wrong, luck of the draw, but yeah, drops all of them. Cloud9, after losing that one, when really should have been favored with the weaponry, they resort to that.
Trying to use the distance involved in his initiator kit to their advantage.
He should be able to just send fault lines and stuns, the fault line stuns and the flashes as well, quite a distance. There's long sight lines if you know the tech for it, but Cloud9 are grouping up. They want to try and go fast. Seekers though, Paranoia gets used to try and push them away. Daveeys as well. Just pushes through, making sure that nobody was past the smoke.
And they decided to hard cancel. That's Leaf losing his dash. That means you can't go out A main. You're going to have to wrap around it. If they want to finish A, it's got to now be an A split.
Limits your options.
Pushing A main without a jet dash is just nigh on impossible.
Yeah.
But they are going to leave Zellsis here, which makes me think they're going to fake like it's going towards B and end back towards Cat.
Yeah, alarm bot taken out. You're exactly right. Moving over towards. Great knife timing.
Yeah, that's very big.
Xeppaa, maybe
30
potentially even
seconds
more,
left.
and it gives them a good idea now. KRÜ are aware of this. Look at it, flooding into the site, making sure they can shore up the defenses. And what better player than keznit? Pulls aside a Jenny. Still need to find shots. Jake alive, but not for much longer. Not when keznit is this. Cloud9 pumping in the util. There was a dart at the back. They waited it out, and it does buy time for the rotations. Because it's there, spamming, spraying. Always a dangerous task. Dashed up, round to the side. No way does he get one, but he's swarmed, overwhelmed.
Defender spawn.
And now, fight to be taken. KRÜ, they're lined up. No way, my goodness. Anything lining it up. They have to watch it to the side here. Klaus, what a shot to hit. Spraying it down, almost collecting Jake as well. keznit, not wasting time. Not in the slightest. Past the aftershock. Stops his movement, just a tad. Does claim the one kill. Melser round and through, lockdown, buying time, buying space, pushing through. Flash, round, and that's it. It's done.
Close losses on split. They are 0-4 on this map, though, KRÜ. It's not been a good one for them.
4 players from KRÜ grouped up. That's just a contact taking of the fight.
Major pick by keznit.
Yeah, with Leaf falling.
So much about this double duelist is just getting them fired early. And keznit's been winning a lot of those early duels compared to usual.
Forced to adjust and adapt now for Cloud9. They're going for some contact plays of their own. Jig with the movement though, so Snakebite landed at the feet, and with the orb in play, no one can get past this one. Bleeding time.
Everyone on KRÜ is in
They're in the
attacker's spawn.
What's going on
Where
here?
they buy guns.
What is going on here? They have rotated all the way around. They've given up all of A. Flash play. Cloud9, meanwhile, they're exploring. They're like, where's the presence here? Like, they're moving around. They're on a swivel.
Absolutely crazy.
Cloud9's goal was to put presence into ropes and try and land B, but they've just swarmed NagZ instead, who's alone on the north side of the map.
Yeah, but if they end B,
it's all flipped. They're ending B, and they've lost B main. It's all been gathered up. This is bizarre. This is all over the place. Spotted the position, spotted the players. It's anyone's game at this point. Fully blinded up. Spamming the common angle there. Still returns. Spike going to be dropped down.
Remaining.
Bullets to the back. And still can't hold it.
gets 3 kills, and he and Daveeys are the players that we're going to need to see fired up. This is an extremely standard defensive setup. We've seen every team that plays double duelist run this.
Holding the ground in mid. Oh, jump spot. Bullets rattled off, dropped to 40 health. Back away with the smoke as well. Good util though. Flips out on both sides. Heals in play. So any sort of damage done going to be removed, heal back up. And it is Cloud9 hunting for that first shot. An opportunity. Flex the statistics. Maybe they can get a win on the ecos yet again. Have a good nade. Xeppaa. Ooh, satchel. Gets him out of danger. Guns ferried away as well. Not to give any more advantages over. You've already lost a player, but an explosion towards heaven now. Moving their way through. Waiting for the util to come back online. Flash doesn't connect. It's a perfect timing given to Daveeys. He's able to swing out there. Nobody was really watching for it. Jumping, right-clicking. Hoping for a bit of a blessing. Still, they've managed to maneuver themselves into great ankles, and one more shot would have done it there, but it's left down to this. keznit versus Xeppaa. Another nade. But bounded away, pushes it back. Time is running short. Spike out in the open with the Spectre.
Which a lot of other teams don't want to because they've bought up fully. They don't want to go into the next round with, you know, pieces of that kit missing.
Great migration for KRÜ, isn't it? They hear the signs of the utility going off towards the B site, and all of them stomping herd of elephants running all the way through with the shorty at that angle. You're not favored. Dropping down, flooding down into the site. KRÜ look to try and take it to them straight away with the sheriffs. Rattling off. Dash active, so keznit is safe, but for how much longer when he's dropped down to 20 health? Turret spots that, so they know that Melser was peeking, pushing. 2 of them left alive at this point, just trying to do damage.
1 enemy remaining.
Anticipated in the close corner there. Flash. Easy setup. And 3 of the guns.
On Sky.
Any roll.
There's keznit
Down
instantly
A.
again. The punish
so
on to
aggressive.
Runi. And Rooney's really far forwards.
Yeah. believe just catching a glimpse as the wall was going up there. Handed the sight line. The tap of it. He wants more. He's got confidence. Been saying it all game long. When keznit gets fired, all the way up, very difficult to stop him.
Oh, timing. I think Nag's got past the boombot there, but it's all right. The rest of Cloud9 have backed things up. They're in a 3v5 situation.
It's being contained.
Yeah, and they don't own anything. Melser's
making a lot of noise.
Melser's got tons of info. There's 4 players stacked on A. How can Cloud9 possibly skill their way out of this situation? It does not look doable.
Okay, ult in the hands of Xeppaa. Showstopper maybe, even though he just takes the raw gunfight. Now it's time to unleash it. Rocket is there.
Never say never.
Satchel up in the air. We'll see what he can do. Clears out the sight from it. It's a bit of a flip now. Heaven control going to be gained here for KRÜ. All of them grouped up.
I think you've got to do something proactive, though, if you're Cloud9 in this spot.
You don't have good post-plan positions.
No, not at all. And you have a player disadvantage. How do they even do anything proactive, though? They can't get anywhere.
Everything's being watched for.
No utility either. All been deployed.
Yeah, got to hit your shots. That's what it feels like. That's what it comes down to. Stun. Forwards. Zellsis wouldn't have been favored there. keznit eventually is traded there, but not before he's done a lot of that damage as well with 3 kills in the round. Nade backing away, just trying to buy time! And they weren't watching for that. Tuna straight down up to Daveeys and can't win it. Series, maybe it's a good thing that he is a central player playing that duelist to take the first shot, to take the first engagement.
He ducked right underneath the shot.
Yeah, and Xeppaa's feeling it now. Satchels, the pathing. Makes his move over towards Nubox. Shots there could have found a little bit more, but only the one, and it is so damn clean. It is increasing and increasing. Slipping away, but that's what the timeout is for, to settle those nerves and maybe get back on the board. Get the momentum.
Taking that back.
keznit has the op over towards A, but there's no Cloud9 bodies in that area. Instead, 3 from Cloud9 working up mid.
Snake bite.
Tickles the toes of Leaf.
Yeah, just to deny them any of that space that they can scale with, but it's a boombot. Trailblazer as well, utilized both at the same time here. Zellsis with the lockdown, trying to push them back. Not sure what the goal was, maybe just try and threaten that they could be there, but it's a reclear from KRÜ into mid. They're giving up this space. Lovely util into the back of the site, clears that one out. There was a gap there.
Daveeys has a showstopper here. He could definitely ult off the plant.
They're going to try and flood in. Yeah, okay, Cosmic Divine, runi, what a kill! What a shot! And still the position is held. Down into hell, Leaf is low, Seeker's up top. Now he knows where the last 2 are. Uses it to reposition. Plant only just going down, but not a worry for Cloud9. Left themselves, it was a 4v2 or a 3v2. Maybe overstepping themselves. Rifle now. Leaf is low. Single shot maybe could do it. Dashing forwards. No way, Xeppaa misses that. keznit can't be getting away with this. But yet he does. Cleans house. NagZ to help him out at the end. What a round and what a performance.
Another player disadvantage situation, but this time going the way of
Slip
KRÜ.
away. And it's exactly what KRÜ needed. Try and get back in control.
Obscuring
Usual
vision.
game being played here with a utility that's sent back and forth at the beginning of these rounds. Only just using a Trailblazer. KRÜ. Some bots. Well, gets broken before it can do any damage. Cloud9 have worked themselves in this advanced position into mid, but where do you go from here?
Well, it looks like runi is going to hold the ult up into beam heaven. And this is
Rolling
major.
Clears through. There's a nade to deny that space though. It's good utility. Double satchel though, straight past it. Wow, winning that fight out low enough though. There's a trade still, Leaf active on the map. Swings wide, make sure that that does not get...
Oh, the flash is bad.
Flash is bad. Can't land the shot still, and well, just trying to get out of there. Down to the staircase, opens it up. keznit with the op. Forced to back away, forced to save.
I love the way that Xeppaa played that on the entry. Rolling Thunder comes through and clears up through B Heaven. And you're right, it was denied by a nade from Daveeys. And that feels like a one-for-one trade, where you've traded an ult for a piece of utility. But it's not. Xeppaa's very fast with his double blast pack back in there, because he knows even if a player's held their ground with the nade, they're going to be stunned. Oh, Keznit now giving away his positioning.
Yeah,
should get hunted.
Should get hunted. He's got to fend them off. They're eager to remove that weapon.
Doesn't look like to work with here. Both teams should be attacking favored, I think, on this map. Just the compositions that KRÜ, I mean, mainly it's KRÜ's comp.
Yeah.
I think it's going to make the entire map feel attacker-sided. But KRÜ finding a couple of moments. Oh, that re-swing almost.
He's still alive. Showstopper now. Round to the side. Brings down Klaus. Sole player anchoring, looking to see if he could do any sort of damage. At this point as well, when it gets to situations like this, it can feel like the operator is like a tether. It stops you from really being able to play aggressively. You trying to carry it forward all the time. Looks like an attempt is made though, regardless. Okay, bit of an upgrade there. Long range. With the off, everyone turning their back. Melser is doing damage. It's down to just runi. 1 versus 2 behind the screens, spamming the corners. Snakebite isolating the fight. Low enough. That'll do it. Melser sprays it through, sprays it down. Sticks to the fuse. That's a round win when they invested half again.
They only had an operator.
Viper's pit dropped down towards A main. It should funnel them into Keznit, but he has to hit the flick, and he's not capable of it. It's too hard even for him. Good movement with the satchels. Out in the open though with the smokes dropping. Maybe a chance, maybe an opening. But the site's going to be gained here. An attempt at a flood. Util nade drop down. Xeppaa firing off his. Jake watching. No one able to drop down into hell to try and punish it. And again, has to be the save, has to be backing away in a blink of an eye.
I was just talking about the way that Keznit has been so successful on the first kills, and he takes another one of those early fights and loses to Xeppaa. And Xeppaa's been phenomenal at it, 5-0 so far on split. So, as much as Keznit's getting value in the early, so is Xeppaa.
Yeah.
Even better.
He's really stepped up. I mean, he's been having a good game this entire time, this entire series. Not expecting that one, but they spot his position. Trying to hunt out that last gun.
Come out. Not all of their players, but Xeppaa in particular, with a vengeance. Refuse to lose. That kind of mentality. And this pressure in mid is drawing Keznit as he looks for the first engagement.
Oh my! Bullet stopping it in its tracks. The momentum was halted there. Trying to glide into the site. Flash, but nowhere to really push and punish. Cosmic Divide gives him a free plant now for Heaven.
Keznit is so quick.
They are really quick,
round.
actually. That is so active.
They know Leaf is here because they heard his utility being used in mid early on in the round.
So taking up the space towards main. The wall going down. It's an angle there, but now they've seen Leaf. He needs backup, he needs help here. KRÜ needs to try and take him out over the top. The updraft. One more knife. Oh, no way. Leaf is a nuisance. Eventually removed, but has he done enough damage? Has bought so much time here. The post-plant positions of Cloud9 still not good, but they've been in this situation before and they've been good for it. Panic settling in. The util's there. Fault line, a pull. Flashes as well. Nothing's favored. And a hard call has to be made. Back out, give up the round. Close things. Well, here's a chance. Turret contact. That's going to force out that fault line. Xeppaa. I thought that was intentional, not with the movement, but off to the side. Maybe was looking to punish. And of course, Keznit takes the re-peek.
He had a chance there.
Yeah,
a
just
really
didn't land
good
it.
one. Interesting that they prioritize getting an orb onto Zellsis instead of runi, who would have had his Rolling Thunder available. Look, the spike stays in B main, they come around to mid, and they come around to A, just to try and spread out the defenders a little bit again.
We've seen this game plan. The Seekers are going to try and make this really feel like an A hit, especially with the players. And Cloud9 starting to now make their moves up towards ropes, but guess what? It is just that bait and switch. The Spike has no intention of moving away from the main position.
This
Players
is
are going to start running it down. I mean, this really does feel like it's an A hit.
Well, they've committed 2 people to A.
Of course. Why wouldn't it? They've taken the bait. It's a free plant as well. runi's going to be able to get that down onto the absolute opposite ends of the map, of the world. It's down to this, though. NagZ He realizes he's got that window of opportunity to work his way into the map with 1 kill now, but it's still a 2 versus 4, and keznit's retaken with the off.
Keznit's got a player in front and a player behind. He's sandwiched.
Running up, footsteps.
Player standing.
Hitting that. Doesn't land a second. Short is denied.
A true end of the season kind of game.
It really is. It really is. Double faced up again. It's the same fault line. Stuns up the 2 players. KRÜ cannot stand it. A lockdown utilized. Drop down.
They still have breach ult for this too.
Yeah. They can start to lay these ults now as we look.
Satchel out.
Oh my goodness. Satchel, what is the play here? I mean, the stun is going to be pushing them all the way back. KRÜ, they just want to throw everything at this one with the judge. It's just not a good fight to take. Still swinging through. Damage definitely done towards Nubox. And a crossfire setup. It's dangerous. With keznit on the high ground, he's removed a lot of that threat. A minute left. Players out in the open. They don't have the spike down. For KRÜ, a possibility, a chance.
The Guardian spam has done so much, and Zellsis is trying to plant behind a box that's extremely spammable.
No one's in that position, though. It's being held. Interesting call to be able to take this fight here, close to the corner. No one from heaven. Flash around the side. Is it going to be anything to capitalize? Moving around, spraying it through. It's a 2-on-2. Lodo, that's the players. Lodo!
Last player
Left it to the
standing.
1-on-1. Runi, a tap. Not planted for him. Doesn't take the bait. Doesn't push forwards.
Ice
He knows he's not sticking it. He's granted a chance. Smoke. Down, Melser! Lands the shot, finds it with 3. And maybe, just maybe, he's made it that much more winnable. For the first half, the double duelist trends towards it. Makes split feel more attack-sided these days when it's being ran, and there you have it. Straight into mid. Clearing this one out. Is it going to be a 3-2-1 double drop down to clear it? No, just a nano swarm. Used in response. That was, yeah, just at the top of the ropes there, so pushes it back, but Daveeys not being dissuaded. Rest of his team now grouping up towards A main, looking for a bit of a split attempt.
And KRÜ's attack side calling has been similar to this all day. Take an area of the map, and then cut noise. Wow, that's going to give him a chance.
There's a flash. Flicks to the side, does claim the 1 kill. Fully blinded up, keznit's there. He's got his back with the space created.
Blocking
Quick to
sight.
jump on it.
Nice, opportunistic.
I got the plan down though. That's going to be the nade and the stun. Is that going to be pushing them back? That was planted for heaven. They didn't have any control of it. It grants Xeppaa an easy one. Pushing now forwards as well with that flash to try and retake that ramp control. Close position. Snags there holding to the wall. He's going to get spotted here potentially. Yeah, he is. I mean, he was just holding, I think, in front of flowers or something like that, but didn't have screens control. It's falling apart before our very eyes with Klaus stunned up low enough. It's run and gun that finishes it.
I like the idea there from KRÜ in terms of, you know, finding that first pick, dodging the showstopper, flashing,
Yeah.
even though only one team really had the opportunity.
Right now in charge. Hope and a dream with keznit taking that first shot towards mid, but no casualties. Now, again, creeping, contact play up towards the side. Watching all the angles here. Catches runi while he's jiggling, but not enough to get the kill. And with all that going on, putting a stop as well to any sort of lurks that might be occurring. Lovely flash to try and re-peek, but keznit, I mean, that's a great shot in itself. Dropping down now to stun to push it away. Jake, he needs help. A relief from the pressure, surely. Run and gun does it again. Klaus is there with the stingers, working, magic working, everything. Plant now starting to go down. Dash to reposition. Players are low, players are weak. Have to find these shots, they have to find their heads. Close to the corner, blinded up again. keznit, 26. That's his health, that's all he's got. And they know how low he is. Cloud9. Love to do that. Toying with their food is what it feels like, but it's just smart play. Jump around the corner, cut up the angles.
I thought you mentioned it. At the moment, it's looking like a smoking. The Cloud9 bonus round, though, does not have too much weaponry behind it. But when you have Jake and Runi on sheriffs and the others on weapons they can spray with, any round is winnable.
It just feels winnable, doesn't it?
Any round
We've
is
seen
winnable.
it too often.
Far too often. They've broken the Valorant economy.
breaking that Trailblazer early and getting out with his life. Zellsis, that does a lot actually. It means they have to really, if they want to try and push through mid-clear to close corners, but now you might see another fight taking place. It's a fault line off of the contact of their own. They want to take the fight to them, flash around the side. It's almost perfect there. NagZ was fully blinded up, still returns with a kill, and keznit's there as well to answer back whenever there was a follow-up.
Gonna put a lot of pressure on runi now, anchoring from this back map kind of area. Got a couple of flashes, but that's usually only gonna be good for one flash repeat.
Here we go. Moving through, no connection there. Slide off angle.
Xeppaa's getting ready to flood in.
And what can you do here? No way! What a shot! Maybe opened it up. Angles watched for. Stinger doesn't win that.
Spike planted.
Even with the headshot.
Yeah. Sometimes it feels like it does. Shots rattled. Keznit
Well, keznit just swings out at the beginning behind his own Viper wall. He's not even really got proper vision.
Yeah, I mean, he feels like he's getting some of these kills just granted to him.
But when you're as good as keznit, yeah, sometimes you do just get them.
Flex it as well. That raw
Delivered on your
skill.
doorstep.
Yeah.
He's got 21 kills in 16 rounds. But we're still waiting for somebody else on KRÜ to come and help him.
But we know this play style from KRÜ now. We've been watching it for a couple of maps. They get the first pick. They don't rush into things. They're slowing it all the way to a crawl. What more can they get from it? It's sometimes worked against them, actually. I will say in a lot of these rounds, they're not as proactive at taking space or another area of the map, and they let the clock be their worst enemy.
Yeah, we haven't exactly seen rounds tossed away with 10 seconds left or something, but they've certainly missed out on a few key opportunities by playing this slowly. I think broadly speaking, though, it has thrown Cloud9 off.
Yeah. Hard to get a grasp on that. Smoke drop. That's supposed to be giving a bit of coverage as well to the players who are anchoring Satchel down to the side. Xeppaa's good for just the one, but eventually removed. Daveeys in the fight, active. Snakebite is great. NagZ clearing that back corner so Jake could not anchor.
Spike
His
planted.
post-plant positioning is looking a lot better now for KRÜ. No one really grouped up towards the back of the site. A lot of angles watched for here. Flash to reposition. They hear this from keznit. Zellsis knows he's there. Jump spotting. No one's watching that one. Takes an attempt of it. He was thinking that keznit was going to re-peek and try and get that one, but he doesn't take the fight. Spray transfer, not good enough. Double face. Is it there? Runi reloading. Close to the corner. No confidence from Melser. It's getting so scrappy. But the pellets are the shorty.
The early engagements, of which Cloud9's trying to take one here in B.
Yeah, and you're just not going to be favored. Too many positions to hide.
But also
Flashes them, I guess, then.
great shot by Melser.
Yeah, and to react to that. That's the KRÜ now. Making sure that they group up. They're leaving NagZ just to lurk towards A, or at least hold that ground so there's no more re-pushing attempts. But do they anticipate this? This is runi taking contact, spots this one out. He's buying time. There is the anticipation, but does it even matter? Xeppaa again. The Stingers, no, nade will clear him. Takes him out of that position. Pull as well to see if they can punish. Aftershock is a bit delayed. Runi scampering, running away, trying to play for his life. There's a fault line there. Leaf attempted to assist keznit. When he's like this, just looks unstoppable. Feels like it doesn't slow anything down, even when he knows he's against the ecos. Just empowers him more. He's not worried about giving away weapons. Not worried about losing fights.
Yeah, we've been talking a lot about KRÜ getting an early advantage and then slowing the round down. They did the opposite there. They got the advantage and barreled into B once they cleared up those players in B main. And they know that B is going to be a lot easier.
Yeah.
If you've pushed out B main, you don't normally have many players also anchoring the site.
Gun here.
So I think at the moment they're reading the Cloud9 eco plays really nicely too. They recognized instantly that Runi's attempt in B main was a bait for Xeppaa around the corner. Sure, the first player falls, but they actually dealt with it lovely. And now, coming into the next round, they have a showstopper. They have a cosmic.
Rolling over most of the opposition. I mean, you think about the amount of one-sided games that Cloud9 have had. But here we go, grouped up for KRÜ. Nothing to match them on the opposite side. It's a Cosmic Divide and a showstopper! How did he see that?
Wow.
Xeppaa just satcheling away?
Yeah, just sent into B heaven, and it bounces off the wall and it splashes onto Xeppaa. So that takes him out. So there's no showstopper to try and get back into this on the retake.
That's big. But Viper's bit drop down Seekers as well. They have this lockdown. This is going to clear the way onto the side.
They have nade.
Stretch into the back of the side. They do have a nade, but can they break it? Don't quite have
not
the
even going
sidelines.
for it.
Dog in their face. Stunned. Rolling thunder now. Might be the next layer to it. Aftershock in the corner. Yeah, that's to try and punish. NagZ is feeling the heat. He's feeling all of it. Jumped in his face. Tries to wrangle his rifle down to collect a few more. There's the nade. Plants coming through. It's half. Stuck onto the defuse. Cosmic Divide in their face. They have to play up here. Time running out. Someone has to stick this as a pull in their face. runi. He's left scrambling for answers. And there's none in sight. The right answer, the right approach. KRÜ.
Absolutely. That was everything.
It was everything, wasn't it? I mean, you just look at the
Recovering
state
it.
of the ult economy on either side. It's just Xeppaa with anything left, and that was just because he was the first def in the previous round, so
9 ults were used.
saved it, yeah.
9 ults were used. And I said how devastating it would be if Cloud9 lost that. Unless they win this Thrifty, it's going to be essentially an even game.
Yeah, that's the painful thing about Cloud9. You want to use these rounds to talk about the storyline, set someone else up, but you have to take them seriously with the Stingers, the Sheriffs.
Yeah, because they've just proven such a formidable danger with them.
A lot of time burnt early. Down to 50 seconds in this round without too much to show for it. It's KRÜ. Again, that crawl. Not making any noise. Keznit was just taking the space as much as he was offered.
But these rounds become very dangerous when Xeppaa's the only person with an ult online and it's a showstopper. There's 30 seconds left right now. Xeppaa's still not rotating though.
I mean, you're trying to run the time down. Look at this smoke as well. Zellsis plays inside of it, jumping into the smoke. It's traded. Oh, shorty at play. Flash into the back here.
Now
They can't
Xeppaa
get
is
in.
here. Now
22
Xeppaa is here.
Xeppaa is here, and the rocket is ready! Unleashed to the side, yet still, it's managed. Put it down before it got really dangerous. And the spike is planted to buy them that extra time to maybe extend it forwards, and that is going to be the case. Jake picked up the rifle, and in a 1v3, listen, he's got the money to buy next round. He's going to have that loser's bonus kicking in. Why not go for it? Why not try and put a stop to it? Keznit there, jiggle, closer to shorty, in the air.
Like we've sometimes seen from this team.
The improvements are there. If you just compare this kind of performance versus the rest of the split. Now they're one step away from equalizing the scoreline. One more round. Bit of spam, bit of damage. Daveeys healed up. Standard play for most teams on this map, just to try and take away that mid control. Okay, that spots him out, stunned. The Cloud9 want to try and approach this. I mean, they're taking a fight towards Mail at the same time while this occurs at ramp. Keznit has the dash though to disengage. Vulnerable, fades away. Zellsis, he survives it. And runi's there playing anti-flash. Instantaneous. Resetting. He's low, but he still finds the kills, and it's all just being met towards heaven. Spike in the hands of Melser. Too much to do. Too much indeed. Met his match there.
Many rounds here before any ults come back in play because they were all used at the same time. These are going to be dry fights, and Jake is in a one-and-done position.
Yeah, close to the corner.
Such a gamble.
He wants to take a fight. I mean, oh, Melser.
And because they're not pressuring him, this stops being a one-and-done. Because he can just pop the smoke up and leave. If they had committed to be, could well have been stuck.
Plays like that steadily become the difference maker. Can barrel rounds out of control, and when Cloud9 are one more away from getting onto that match point, it can make the difference. So it's up to KRÜ to try and offset it.
This turret takes contact.
Yeah, up into
runi
heaven.
Stuns.
runi stuns. He's pretty close up to this though. Is there going to be a gap close? Turret there. No, wasn't holding it. Gets the gun out. Drops down to the ground. Nana swarms on either side of him. runi is safe. Waits it out. Bides his time, but there is that return of the fire. There is that trade. Dropping down. So damn dangerous. But it's equalizing on either side. Still down to a 2v3 though.
Safe plant.
Around the corner. Has the Seekers in his hand, so Klaus could make something of this one. But the positioning is not good. The health is not good. Xeppaa still with the nade as well. He can clear this one all the way through. There it is onto the corner. Klaus lucky to not go down while he was dogging. A pull, a flash. There, Leaf gets it. Leaf finds it. 2 to bring his team up now to that map point, to the match point.
And on Lotus, it only took...
Looks like they want to try and burst into this. Although, Keznit isn't with them. Keznit is on the other side of the map.
Yeah.
He's the one watching that A angle, so maybe not.
It's a little bizarre, isn't it? NagZ takes the orb, so he's one away from Viper's Pit, but doesn't have the spike. So no guarantee that he gets up to the ult in the round. And that Trailblazer just sees everything in market. It sees that there's nobody there whatsoever. So they're not worried about mid in the slightest. They can go back over to B main. The Cloud9 go for a re-clear in time to realize that this is ending A.
Well, it's interesting, isn't it? Because this entire time, I think Keznit was just holding, making sure nobody picked up that orb and maybe holding the line. So they're going to give NagZ this orb, I imagine. That's why they were farming it up. There's the flash. That gives Cloud9 info.
Blocking sight.
Forwards, though. Smoke's dropped down either way. Keznit is really being forced out of them as well from the nanoswarms, but they gain control of the site. Now, how do they want to play it? Spike in the hands of NagZ. Safe plan as well. He will get that ult line, assuming he's not pushed off of it. Made close. Fight taken. Fight won for Zellsis. Gobbles that one up. No fine in sight. Now we see the pit. Might play a portion here with the lockdown to back them away. Cloud9 are not wasting any time. They want to take the fights and they force them. It's so unfavorable right now. KRÜ need a miracle. They need to find the fight. They need to react to it, and they just don't do it. In the blink of an eye, it's over like that. KRÜ look formidable, but ultimately